recording. This is case 401. Sovereignty check, yeah.
Okay, so that fails on the first test immediately. So I'm just going to take a look into the outer etheric and see what's connected. Okay, so I can immediately see two large negative entities connected. One's connected straight into the throat and the other's connected into the heart centre. So these are the big ones that are quite tricky to deal with, so I'm just going to ask Chen's advice basically. Okay, so he's just advising that we leave it to them to manage. He's saying that him and his team won't do this, they'll call in higher help because it is the more difficult entities that we deal with.
Just for the benefit of our friends here who are listening, is this the sort of case that would perhaps demand the attention of an exorcist?
Chen's saying, yeah, this is the far-reaching sort of highest level that we deal with. So this would be termed as proper possession, basically. So she would probably speak in different tongues, different voices, different personalities, and Chen saying she would have very, very negative demonic behaviour. Okay. So self-harm, that sort of stuff.
If an exorcist were to be called in, would he be successful?
Okay, Chen's chuckling. So he's saying it's unlikely on the basis that there's two of them. So he's saying the exorcist is more likely to go away with more problems than he started with.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Right, so as Chen and his team and the higher realms are dealing with that, can we move on to grounding?
Yeah, okay, so let's take a look at grounding. So there's no grounding at all. Let's just put grounding back in place. Okay, so that's done. Let's just take a look into the inner etheric to see what we can see in there. Okay, so as I bring up a picture of the inner etheric, so I'm immediately presented with a picture of two people, both split in half. So part of this person's inner etheric has been removed effectively. So in the kind of centre, so in the sort of womby area, I can see a big kind of range of egg-like, which we'll see them quite a bit, don't we? Where these entities basically use the human as an incubation type centre for incubating their own offspring. So this person's energy is being used basically to incubate in that way. So Chen's saying that, again, they won't touch these eggs, they're asking the entity to remove them themselves, or these two entities. Okay, so next thing I can see is a picture of the inner child, basically contorted and bound. So it's almost been imprisoned in its own etheric body effectively. So it's kind of lying in like a fetal position with its knees underneath and its hands down over its head, but it's actually bound up completely, so it's unable to stand up. So again, Chen's just saying that they're going to remove those bindings and address the inner child. So the whole raft of connections coming in as well, so I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I can see 6 connections coming in. So these are effective like etheric pipes, cords that are connected, that are draining this person's energy. So again, these entities are using this person's kind of etheric energy as a kind of fuel source effectively. So it's going to remove all of those cords and connections. Looking at the head, there's a control device over the top of the head. So I'm viewing that as almost like a space helmet really, that goes completely over the top of the head and it clips in just underneath the throat area. So this has like a visual, so it's changing her visuals, perception, also the auditory aspect, things that she hears, things that she sees, and there's like some type of box that's connected in the back of her head, again that's just changing the whole thought pattern. So all of her senses are being totally or can be totally manipulated and controlled. Okay, so just coming back to this split, I still see this image of like two people split in the middle. So it's almost like, okay, so Chen's saying basically part of her soul energy has been forced out of her own body, so she's only half back in. So that's that view that I can see. Because I think we've seen that a few times before, haven't we? Where someone hasn't come back, or they've almost left, maybe in sort of like a dreamlike state or some type of remote viewing, and they haven't got back into their
they've had some kind of out-of-body experience, and only half of it's come back.
Yeah, so Chen's saying in this case she's been forced out, basically.
Okay, so can that missing part be retrieved?
Chen said once we've removed these entities and closed the etheric, the core part of herself will be allowed to come back in.
Okay.
Okay, so it's interesting. So he's just saying this is very similar to what you'd expect to see with a case of Tourette's, whereby you've got another overriding entity or possession happening that can partly control the body, which again is what you, I guess, see with Tourette's, whereby something comes in and swears and tries to take over and then gets forced out again.
Yeah.
So he's saying it's a very similar image to that.
Okay, so while all that's going on, Chen and his team are working on that, all that. Can we move on to the next level?
Yeah, okay, so they're looking just outside, there's a big raft of negative parasitic entities there. So these are just almost like sort of, I think you term them as interdimensional fleas, don't you, or something? Just parasites, basically, that suck energy.
Yeah.
So to clean and remove those. And then I'm starting to hear quite a few voices now. Okay, so 7 earthbounds also connected.
Have these been picked up spontaneously, or have they been forced in?
Okay, chance of the mix of both, basically. Some have been with her for quite a long time, some have been forced in, again, to try and bring her mental state into a very poor place, effectively. So it's going to open the door to spirit and basically ask these 7 to leave, calling forward someone that's happy to collect them and that they're happy to go with. Okay, they're all dying to get out, basically. Well, not dying, but it's being dead already. Yes, they're very keen to go. It's probably a better terminology. Okay, so they've all left.
Okay, how's Chen getting on with his team? Can we have another look at the etheric?
Yeah, so the etheric is starting to fix itself, if you like. The chakras are all still closed, and these entities are still.
I was just going to ask you if we can go back and look at the chakras. We missed that, didn't we?
Yeah, they're all totally shut, basically.
Okay, can we have them all opened up?
Yeah, so Chen said they'll do that once these entities have left. Okay, so yeah, so thought forms, there's a thought form here. In fact, there's 2 thought forms here. There's a thought form of a young girl, and she is about 4 years old, and she's positive, so she's dancing around and she's really happy. And then there's another thought form that is 16 years old, and she's not very happy.
Now, be careful here not to confuse thought forms with dissociated subpersonalities. Can you be clear about this for us, Andy?
Yeah, so the young girl thought form is a thought form, and the other one is also a thought form.
Okay, so let's ask the higher self here. What's the advice on the 16-year-old?
Okay, the higher self saying the 16-year-old is a very negative part of that thought form that won't be reintegrated.
No.
It's not happy to reintegrate it at all. So it's saying Chen will need to transmute that part of the energy away.
Okay.
But the younger child is obviously positive, and therefore that's happily reintegrated into the core personality.
Excellent. Good. Good example of both forms. Yeah.
Okay, now just moving on to dissociated personality. So there's 3 of these.
How old are they?
Okay, so the first one I'm connected to is calling herself EMS. It's a little child of 6 years old.
Yeah.
She's quite happy. So she's just saying that she's looking for a mum still, basically. So yeah, okay, so she's just saying we're happy to basically reintegrate that into the core personality. So I'll just take a picture of that, walk it back into itself. Okay, that one's done. So there's another one which is 11 years old.
Yeah.
And this is a very quiet, sort of thoughtful but quite negative personality.
What is the
Or
highest?
in her words, she's saying that she's pissed off, basically.
Okay. So what does the higher self say we can help with this one?
Okay, so the higher self says the same, it's negative, therefore it needs to be transmuted, not integrated.
But this is a dissociated subpersonality. It's a part of the self. So ultimately, it will need reintegration, but the negative energy needs to be transformed.
Transmuted, yeah.
So can that be done now, or is that ongoing therapy?
Yeah, okay. Sun's saying that this one and the next one will need to wait. So there's another personality which is 17, and this is like an extremely angry personality that's using quite a lot of swear words and not very happy.
Are we not able to help these two at this time?
No, Chan's saying this will need to wait.
Okay, fine. Then we'll have to put it on hold. Can we go back now and see how he's getting on with the other stuff?
Okay, so the two entities have left, chakras are open, all of the cords have been removed. So the etheric I see now is basically bright white light. So there's nothing external attached at all. Okay, so the inner child is actually stood up now, presented itself as a happy person, as opposed to bound and covered in bindings as it was before. So just swing back and do that sovereignty check again. Okay, that passes now, so that's good. Okay, so Jen's saying that we're done from a spiritual perspective, but as I guess you've grasped, this person's had a lot of abuse and trauma from very young, and therefore that aspect needs to be dealt with in person with ongoing therapy of some type.
Okay. Is there any further advice specifically we can give to the family of this person to help them? What would Chen suggest?
Chen's suggesting that she have one-on-one therapy that can be done in a very confidential way, for obvious reasons.
Okay, yeah, fine. And